We are expecting updates on Manchester United's midfield rebuild after what's happened with Ederson, and it does look like we have got some updates coming out of Italy and Manchester United's chase for MANU KONÉ. Several different media outlets over in Italy have been reporting this lunchtime that Manchester United are ready to bid and the price has been set. So we'll get into the details of this alongside some extra information as to why Roma might actually be forced to sell KONÉ that I didn't pick up on before, but it's been reported this lunchtime on this Saturday. So it is interesting now how quickly Manchester United move, of course, on to any potential target after what's happened with Ederson. United now needing two midfielders, as we know, and KONÉ has been reported more than any other at the moment in this last week as a potential target for Manchester United. These reports have been going on now for 3 to 4 days. The latest that we've got coming out from Corriere dello Sport, Gazzetta dello Sport, Sports Witness, Sports Media Set as well. There's quite a few different broadcasters and publications and outlets from Italy talking on this now. Quickly, just to update you on the financial situation at Roma and why they might actually have to sell KONÉ. Now, there are financial difficulties reportedly happening at Roma they have to abide by for UEFA. Now, they haven't had to before, it would seem, because, look, this is the first time that Roma have been back into the Champions League in a long time. And obviously, the thought with the Champions League money being able to be calculated into their finances, they might be able to get away with this. Now, I don't know the full ins and outs of the financial situation with Roma at the moment, but there are reports today going around that there is some kind of financial difficulty that they have to obviously get around this summer, and selling KONÉ could actually be the way out of that for the Roma club. So when you look at that, and then you look at the latest reports that have come out also this lunchtime around Manchester United ready to bid for KONÉ. Now, we've heard different prices thrown around. We've heard one price, which is that Roma won't come to the table and negotiate. They won't accept anything less than £42.5 million sterling. That's around about 50 million euros. We're getting other stories now coming out that Roma have set the price tag at 55 million euros for the French international. Now, of course, we've said this before, and the warning signs about this transfer for Manchester United would have come around the fact that he's still competing in the World Cup, and obviously his value could go up if France obviously win the World Cup. Do United move now? Is it important that United get in this weekend, perhaps, or the next couple of days and make a bid? If Tchouaméni comes back into that French side, then obviously we're looking at KONÉ going back to the bench. But 55 million euros is the latest that's being quoted. That coming from Gazzetta over in Italy, and that's the latest from their side of things. 55 million euros is still very, very cheap compared to what Manchester United were priced for certain players within the Premier League. This is a full-blown international playing at the highest level right now for France, with comfortable minutes under his belt in the tough league in Serie A, similar to what Ederson was. But obviously, this is a guy that's being picked in the best team in the world at the moment, and he is really holding his own in place of Tchouaméni, who Manchester United's original target was. So when you look at the price, I don't think that's going to put Manchester United off one bit. We're waiting for the details of the Ederson fallout to come out and how Manchester United get around that. But you only have to do the math that's there for everybody to see. Of course, KONÉ is going to cost more than what Ederson was, so it's not like it's just the same transfer all over again. Manchester United being quoted 55 million euros is pretty much 10 million more than what we were going to be paying for Ederson, but a lot of people would see him as a better player. Both have got their own injury sort of issues that have been brought up. The big one, obviously, with Ederson is that knee injury, which stopped the move happening in the first place to Manchester United. A few people have picked up the hamstring issues that MANU KONÉ picked up last season. The previous 2 seasons, pretty clean. A few problems last season, though, with that hamstring for him. So that's something that Manchester United have looked into as well. They'll be putting this all together and rounding it up to see where the price is going to be at. If it is no less than 42 million, Manchester United, I don't think, when you look at the age of the player, 25, the experience, the way he plays, the versatility of his midfield positions that he can also play, I think that benefits Manchester United. If you're looking to bring 3 midfielders in and he's going to be part of a rotation, then you can clearly see why Manchester United would go for this. So I expect bids in, I would say, from probably around the 43 million mark for United. Like with Andre Santos, United went in and just accepted the price that Chelsea put on to Andre Santos' head. So that again, I think if United agree with the valuation of the player, this has always been said, if United are happy with the valuation of a particular player, they will go in and buy that player. And this, I think, is where Manchester United will probably be at with KONÉ. It is more than affordable for Manchester United. And, of course, I think now, when you look at Ederson being off the table, I think Manchester United will feel comfortable in moving this forward as quickly as possible. And then they've got their two midfielders in again, like we did before. We can move swiftly on to the third midfielder, which is expected to be a Premier League player at this point now, because obviously the value that Manchester United have on the third midfielder is seen in the media circles as the big signing, the £80 million signing, someone like that Manchester United are willing to go for. There is no one abroad at the moment that carries that price tag. So the extra squad player looks like that is going to be sourced, as it was with Ederson, from overseas. And again, funnily enough, from Italy, of course, because Ederson was from Atalanta and KONÉ from Roma. I think this is what Manchester United are doing, the cheaper option, and someone integrated into the Premier League, surrounded by Premier League midfielders already, and the likes of MANU, SANTOS now, probably one more, like we said, with the big £80 million buy. You've still got Mason Mount there. Obviously, you're surrounded then by that backline of Manchester United, which is going to be the same as it was last year, and the experience that they've got. And obviously the likes of Bruno Fernandes and the other forwards as well. It's easier to integrate when you've got a side that's actually performing well and you're bringing in a bit more experience of the Premier League alongside him, especially when you've got a big midfield rebuild to do. When you need one player, it's easy to bring that one player in and be specific. But when you need to bring three in one window for one area of the pitch, incredibly difficult. And I think this has obviously played a part in Manchester United's struggle in this transfer window as well. And I think this is why Ederson has been benched. I think this is obviously Manchester United having time to rethink. And there was something I was going to say earlier on, actually, in the video we did on Ederson this morning. I think if Ederson wasn't at the World Cup or didn't get called up to the Brazil squad, I think United would have him in and done. I think it would already be over. I just think United have had a chance to rethink, and they know that this is a massive decision in how Manchester United are going to work. I think Fernandes has definitely played a part in not signing, and I think they've rethought the whole Ederson move, and now they're looking at, looking at MANU KONÉ